welcome. Are you watching it too? Just to make sure it's
Yeah.
all right, cool.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
So, as of right now, based off how the draft is going, who do you think we're going to pick?
I think you might be right. I think we might be getting the center, the guy from Iowa.
I mean, it's looking like, I don't want to say it's a lock that he's going to fall to us, but it may. I mean, if Trent McDuffie's there, which is still kind of a long shot, but it seems like he keeps dropping because there's still plenty of like good players available.
Yeah,
That may be one player to consider to take.
Yeah, I think your Linderbaum hunch is good, but I'm wondering if maybe the Bengals can pick up like a tight end or a safety. I could see that as a pick as well, just the way the draft's going.
Well, I mean, so many receivers are going off the board so quickly that I feel like a tight end will probably fall.
Yeah.
Either like in the second or third. But
you think that late?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll get a tight end either the third or fourth round. Seems about the right range. I think we might actually get really good value in a tight end, probably the third or fourth.
Okay. I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, it seems more in line with what the Bengals have done. I mean, they haven't picked a first round tight end since well, I mean, our last tight end was Marvin Lewis was the coach, right? That was kind of like his thing, right? A corner or a tight end usually in the first round.
The only tight end I thought we picked in the first round was Jermaine Gresham.
Yeah, but no, we got the guy from Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, Eifert.
Yeah. And then the other times were cornerbacks, and then there was like Carson Palmer, and then Chris Perry, right? Chris Perry, Carson Palmer, 2 tight ends, and then all corners in the first round is what it feels like when Marvin was the coach.
All right, the Steelers are in.
Yeah, let's hope that they don't pick.
I mean, I feel like they're going to get Pickett, but I don't know.
It's like I want Des Ridder to go in the first round, and I want him to go as high as possible for his sake, and also playing for the Steelers. I mean, that's a good place for any player to go to. But man, I'd like for him to go to basically any other team.
No, I think Pickett's going to be the first one off the board.
You think they're going to take Pickett?
Yeah.
I heard a lot of Malik Willis is what I heard for Steelers. So wait, you're
Pickett.
Right. Kenny Pickett.
I mean, he's a hometown product. The Steelers are like, I think they go by more results rather than what looks good, if that makes sense. Like they're an old school organization, so I think they really rely more on like what you do.
I'm glad that they took him, because now I can say that they made a mistake. They should have picked Des Ridder. They're stupid.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you go by results. Well, I don't know. Was Pitt in the college football playoff last year? Were they in the New Year's Six Bowl 2 years ago?
Hey, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying
starting quarterback.
I'm just saying it makes sense because Kenny Pickett was literally right in their backyard. I mean,
yeah.
From a business standpoint too, he's going to bring a lot of excitement and sell tickets.
I don't think the Steelers need to worry about selling tickets.
Yeah, but I think a lot of Steeler fans really wanted Pickett.
Hey, that's good. I'm glad that they got him. I'm like glad that that's the guy they got, because he's got tiny little hands. He's going to play in the AFC North. He's going to fumble it when Joe Asai gets off of the injured list and hits him from behind.
But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, they probably would have been better off going for like a cornerback, right? Like that would have been like probably more of a solid pick. And Jermaine Johnson, not that they need another edge rusher, but like it's kind of crazy. I'm interested to see how far some of these players are dropping. Like I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people expected Johnson to fall this far either. So
Yeah.
like I
The Chiefs.
wonder if the Bengals are in a play to where they can trade out of the first and still get Linderbaum. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that that's the guy they want. So I watched Linderbaum play because I was like glued to the TV for the college football playoff when like Iowa's there was a point in time where Iowa was like super highly ranked, right? And they were playing I think Purdue. I think Purdue actually won that game. But like, the Linderbaum was like the guy that they were highlighting in the broadcast. And he looked like a really good player, and I thought he was the way they were talking about him made it sound like he was going to be a top 10 pick, right? So from that standpoint, and I'm by no means a film expert, especially watching centers, but I mean, it looked good, it sounded right, but I just remember like Billy Price and CJ Obwehi and what was the other guy? Kyle, what's his face? And then, I mean, the Bengals just have not done well uh, drafting offensive linemen. You
Chiefs
know what
just
I mean?
traded up. They
Yeah.
jumped Green Bay. It's got to be for a receiver.
You think?
Sorry. Yep. 100%. They both teams lost big time receivers, right? The one lost Tyreek Hill,
hmm
and Green Bay lost potentially Devontae Adams. So
And Marquez Valdez Scantling. And
yeah.
then I
So I
think
mean, both teams are
Kansas
due to
City
get a
only lost one
receiver.
receiver, right?
So I mean, like it's probably Pickens. That's probably who they're going for. I feel like.
Pickens is good. Like he played the Bearcats played Georgia in the Cotton Bowl last year, and like Pickens looked like AJ Green.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just like the way like his hands, just the
I
way he would snag the ball.
yeah.
I mean, it was just he just looked during that game. He looked like the best player, like on the field when he was on the field. He looked like the dude. Because there's a play where the Bearcats intercepted a ball in the end zone, and or near the end zone, and he uh, ripped the ball out of the guy's hand, and it went from being like a touchback to being like they got the ball back on a one or a two, all because of a play he made. And and it's not even like a wide receiver play, just like as an athlete, right? But I mean, he looked like he had great hands. I mean, but I guess he was hurt most of last year, so I don't. I mean, that's probably why he slipped.
I can't really hear what they're saying. I wonder, could it potentially be an edge? Oh no, it's oh wait, never mind. It just says pick is in. I saw
Yeah,
tackle, but that was just our previous pick.
well,
But
no, I think you might be right. Wide receiver.
I
I
mean,
mean,
they're both teams are at least going to go for one receiver. I feel like in the first they kind of
yeah,
have to. Like,
yeah. There aren't many. There aren't many receivers left, right? I mean, like a
no,
lot of guys went. I mean, so you're right now we're at
six, I
one,
think.
two, three, four, five, six have been picked.
Yeah, so
So you
this
get
could
the
potentially be
seventh wide
seventh.
receiver in the first round. It's crazy, right? To think that this draft had 7 wide receivers.
No, Trent McDuffie. They got the corner.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
There you
That makes
go.
sense.
So you think they think the Packers were going to get a corner, or do you think it's just a coincidence that they?
Well, it was either going to be the Packers or you could look at yeah, well, I mean there's Dallas, maybe, I don't know, Baltimore.
Yeah.
I think Baltimore might actually be set in corners, but
hmm
man, I was kind of hoping that Trent McDuffie would actually fall, but I mean, this makes sense.
hmm Oh, do you have the chat thing up?
Yeah, I do.
I don't. Okay, I don't see it, but that's fine. If you can see it, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna get interesting because like, well, let me see what they have as best available.
Yeah, that'd be good to see. Because I'm thinking like you got the Ravens, Cowboys, Bills. I mean, they could all conceivably pick offensive linemen, right? I don't remember what the Ravens' offensive line looks like going into this season. I think they were okay last year, but I don't know if any of those guys are coming back.
Yeah, linebacker hasn't even been drafted yet, so I feel like that's almost due.
You think? Do you think the Bengals will pick a linebacker?
No, not in the first round. But I mean, potentially you could look at. Well, I don't know. I don't know about New England, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying eventually before. I mean, I'm just like anything to fill in to push Linderbaum to us is what I'm hoping for. I mean, it's looking like there's a pretty good shot that he's still going to drop to us, or he's at least going to be an option. And that may not even be our number one. Because there's that edge rusher that people are talking about here. See if he's on here.
Mm-hmm.
The guy from Purdue, Karlaftis, because he's kind of versatile and he can play many positions.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think the play would be get Linderbaum, set your offensive line, and then
Looks like Drew's in.
what's up, Drew?
What's up?
Looks like he bumped me off the stream, man.
Sorry, I'll
Get my
fix
big
it.
fat face in there.
Hold on. Oops, I went the
Oh.
wrong way. Oh, okay, I guess I could go up. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Oh no, that's me again.
Little slide puzzle.
There you go.
Two Joshes. There's an Eric. There we go.
Yeah. But what's up, Drew? What's any surprises for you, or is this kind of like vanilla?
I mean, I'm surprised
Ooh.
that Evan Neal didn't get picked in the top 5, but
Yeah, I saw
Otherwise-
something that there was like an injury concerns or something.
yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that the Titans traded AJ Brown.
I mean, that too. That I'm glad you brought that up because it's like it tells you that this stuff is kind of coordinated. Because like, how's he going to get traded? And he signed it a $4 million or 4-year extension for $100 million and $50 million. Like, they did that in a matter of 10 minutes. That's pretty impressive. Like that's like
They had it figured out.
that's what I'm saying.
Did
Like
they-
this
Did they
is
trade him
this is
to
all
again?
Eagles.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you could have the trade ready to go, and then let them know that hey, we're not going to make the trade unless our guy's there, right?
I guess, but I
Oh.
guess it's more.
There you go. First linebacker's off the board.
There he is.
The Packers took a linebacker.
That makes sense because it's the best value.
They
at that
really
point.
just don't want to win.
You think they should take a receiver, or what are you trying to say?
Oh wait, I got a sound for you, Drew.
Fatality. Fatality.
Dude, coming in with the hot.
I
take.
mean, like, that's just not what they need right now. Like,
Well, they have 2 picks, so.
still.
But he's
just-
probably the best linebacker in the draft. So like that to me,
Who should they have picked?
yeah, there you go.
I mean, I don't know. Just not a linebacker. They need a receiver, honestly. Because right now they have Randall Cobb, I think. I don't know. That's it. So
So I
they
think
have Randall Cobb and Sammy Watkins, and that's just not good enough.
Pickens is probably a lock as far as receiver to get picked in the first round.
Oh well, the
Maybe.
Packers pick again in 28, so maybe
Yeah.
they think he'll slide to 28.
Pickens, possibly. Now, like I feel like oh no, never mind. The Titans they already got Treylon Burks, so they probably don't need to necessarily get another receiver, so
Mm-hmm.
it's possible he could fall that far. But I feel like Kansas City probably also needs a receiver as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they don't. They didn't trade for anybody, did they? It's just it's hard to remember.
Who?
The
So wait.
Chiefs. I don't think they traded for
Refs.
anybody.
Oh, Baltimore got Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
I saw that. I thought he was going to go top 10.
I mean, that's a good
I'm not
value
worried
pick,
about-
but
I'm
I
not worried
just
about that pick. I don't think Kyle Hamilton's fast enough.
well, I
No,
mean,
that's not what they need.
there's only so much he could do as a safety, right? I mean, he can still play really well, and he's not going to really stop. He can't stop 4 people on the field, right? So, like,
Well, I mean, but he can't stop. He can't. I'm just. It's like whatever. I mean, Higgins and Jamar Chase are going to keep scoring touchdowns against the Ravens. Then if that's what they did.
I just,
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Like,
He's not
what are they
fast
doing
enough.
with which receiver? Because like, didn't they just traded Hollywood? Like, they literally
Yeah.
didn't. They just trade their best receiver. Maybe they're
Yeah,
in
they
play
did.
for Debo. Maybe that's a secret.
Maybe. Or
That
they're going
has
to
to be
pick 2 receivers in a row.
2 receivers.
Like
Well,
in the
they
second and
they don't
third?
have anybody. They have
Oh, okay. No, but
Billy
they already
Snead.
picked Hamilton, so they pick. They pick at 25, so they got 2 picks before they go.
yeah. I think
Hard
the
to
Lions
say.
are going to pick Ritter.
Really?
I think so.
I think he's going to go to the Titans.
Because they drafted
they-
Hutchinson. They drafted Williams from Alabama. So the next logical step is a quarterback. The Lions. So
Or they could get another receiver. Right? They need a lot
mean-
of stuff.
they do need a lot of stuff.
A lot of positions.
Maybe you don't go quarterback
Other-
here.
hey,
Maybe you wait.
Hey, but they were smart last year, and they picked the tackle
Yeah.
instead of the wide receiver.
Huh.
And so I think, now they have Penei Sewell, they can really build their team around him, and they're all set. And Bengals, they made the mistake of picking Jamar Chase, so we're scrambling. What do we do this year?
I feel like part of the reason why like there's so much success with some of the receivers, people are going crazy with receivers in this draft, because there's no way like all these receivers are gonna like produce what you would expect a first round receiver to do.
Well, it's twofold, right? Because like there is no like top quarterback, right? So
Yeah.
if you say, okay, the franchise quarterback tippity top of the first round isn't there, then you overcompensate by picking wide receivers. So it's like, well, if we can't get a wide receiver to change our or quarterback to change our franchise, let's do what the Bengals did last year and get a wide receiver and see if that'll make us a Super Bowl team, right? I mean, to me, it's kind of crazy, right? That the Bengals, because the Bengals had success, that now you see people kind of trying to build the way the Bengals built, right?
Yeah.
You have 2
It's the
good wide
superior
receivers
model.
back to back. What's that?
It's the superior model
I
from
wouldn't
the
go that
Rams,
far.
I think. I would.
Step one,
I would go
step
that
one,
far.
Get lucky, get Joe Burrow and T. Higgins. Step 2, get lucky, get Jamar Chase in the next draft.
Well, I
It's
mean,
just like, okay.
there was a lot of luck involved in what happened with the Bengals for sure. But I mean, it's not just Jamar Chase too, because it's like Justin Jefferson did just as well, and then I feel like there's a few other receivers. But
see, I in the regular season, yeah, did just as well. But when you put your team in the Super Bowl, like I don't think the playoffs. I'm taking like the NBA mindset of like the regular season doesn't matter, right? It matters, but like playoff stats are worth like double or triple what regular season.
I would say
stats
like
are.
triple, not even double.
So it's like, yeah, he did it in the regular season, but and I'm not trying to knock anybody. I'm just saying that like what the Bengals offensive players did to get them to the Super Bowl is like infinitely better. Well, not infinitely. I just said 3 times. We'll stick to 3. It's 3 times better than what anybody would do comparatively in the regular season, right?
And that's why they have to draft Linderbaum.
Okay. Lead me there. You skipped a couple steps. Show your work.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. Okay, there goes Elam. Dang, I think that would have been another corner we would have been interested in. But the Bills just got Kyer Elam.
Ooh, they're gonna have some good corners if he pans out.
Yeah, I didn't watch very much of Florida this year. Like I literally turned on the Florida Georgia game like 2 minutes before halftime, and it was like 6-0 or something. And then Georgia scored like 50 points before halftime. It was like Florida was hanging with them, and there was only like 2 minutes left until halftime, and the wheels just completely fell off, and they got blown out in like the 2 minutes leading into halftime. It was just like pick sixes, just interceptions, touchdowns. I can't remember. It was like just a total steamroll job. So
Yeah.
that's my scouting take on Kyer Elam. I don't know.
I think he just like fits the profile. Like if you just look at his measurements, and especially this late in the round, like.
Well, I mean, he's good. He played at Florida. I mean, usually if you're a starter in Florida, you're pretty good, right? Especially defense. Their problems have been offense, right?
Yeah.
Right. But to go back to your question, as far as Linderbaum and really the point I'm trying to make it.
This.
Well, I mean, like it just goes back to you. Like remember that meme last year about like if the quarterback's on the ground, you can't get it to the quarterback or to the receiver. It kind of just goes back to that. It's like we did such a good job of overhauling the offensive line, and it's just like we're missing one piece. Now, I think the backup plan is if we don't get maybe that lineman that we're looking for, I feel like we can always re-sign Spain at like a really crazy deal, and he would be better than most, I would say, offensive linemen that would come in that could potentially either play, or it would have to be guard, right? But I think Linderbaum is pretty much like
you've got all those. There's going to be a second wave of cap casualties too after the draft.
That's true.
You feel a lot better having to pick up one offensive lineman than you do having to pick up like 4 or 3 or 2. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now's the time to do it.
Right.
So,
well, because I think they had a pretty good idea that Linderbaum's going to fall because there was like these crazy stats where like it showed all the different position groups drafted in the first round, and like the top 5 positions is what you would assume would be the top 5 would be like the pass rusher. Well, quarterback was kind of mid range, like because like overall players, right? They took the total sum, so most of it was like cornerbacks, pass rushers, receivers, offensive linemen, but or tackles, I should say, specifically tackles. And then all the way on the bottom were centers. Like out of I think for the last 20 or 25 years, there were only it was like a crazy stat. There was only like 20 centers drafted in the first round. So like centers is really not, and I think where Linderbaum loses his value is that people don't really think he's versatile because of measurements per se, but you really don't know that until you plug and play.
Well, they say he has short arms,
right? But he's a guaranteed lock to be a above average center. Like I think you can almost isn't
that what we said about Billy Price?
No, I don't think anyone said about that. Billy Price.
It's the same deal.
I think there was a lot of concerns.
Right. It wasn't like they wanted a different center, didn't they? And then like somebody jumped them and picked the center that the Bengals wanted.
It's the same deal. It's a short arm center from the Big Ten. I don't really. I would take the risk because I feel like it's not as pivotal of a pick. But I mean, I'm apprehensive to call him a lock.
I don't think anyone would have ever considered Billy Price like a top 10 pick. And I think Linderbaum...
He got picked like, what, 13th, 14th, something like that?
I'm Googling it now.
It's like 22nd, I think.
19th, maybe? I don't know.
I'm Googling it.
I feel like it was in the 20s.
21st.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, let's see. He was in the 2018 NFL draft. So, 2-0.
I think it was the year before Taylor.
But Centers are really not value. I mean, like, there's a chance that we could probably still trade out and still get them, but you could always just get them too. I mean, at like 31, it's basically a second round pick.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of getting too cute. You know, it's just like if there's a guy that you really want, and
well, he would just solidify the line because you put him at center and you put Karras at guard, and boom, we're good.
Okay, so let's look through here.
I mean, I'm not against it.
Oh, yeah, that's what happened. See, the Bengals. So this is the Bengals wanted Frank Ragnow, right?
And who's now on the Lions and is like an All-Pro. Yeah.
And they let it leak somehow.
Damn, that was nice.
It was like the whole Dave Lapham said something to someone that the Bengals wanted Frank Ragnow. So then the Lions like traded up, or maybe they didn't trade up. But they took him right before us. Like we got scooped, and then the Bengals are like, "Oh, well, we'll just take the next best center," and they took Billy Price.
Like, how bad could it be, right? But then, but here's the deal. Here's the silver lining with Billy Price. We got BJ Hill.
BJ Hill, yeah.
Yeah, like that.
To me, it took 4 years, but it worked.
It's worth it in my mind.
In a way, it was like a good investment.
It was because it was like he eventually turned into BJ Hill. So like that to me is a solid like pick, regardless, right?
It was the 21st overall pick for game-sealing interception in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Well, that's a fair trade.
The thing is that BJ Hill is like going into his like pretty much his prime, right? Like his
he's a solid interior lineman. Like next to here.
Tyler Smith, tackle.
Yes.
Also.
They got to replace Lyle Collins.
Yeah, but they were high on the backup, I thought. But I mean, I feel like you can never have too many good tackles, right? Or too many good pass rushers or corners or receivers.
Yeah, you can't have too many good tackles. This is correct.
I mean, that's the new NFL with the, like, I think you're right in your assessment, Eric, as far as like in the NFL, it's going to be you're either paid a lot of money or nothing. So like, you're going to have to get your premier players or positions. Like you're always going to have their backup ready now is the direction's going. That's why these receivers are getting drafted so many in offensive linemen or pass rushers. It's because like in the league now, you have to have 3 of them. 3 premier pass rushers, receivers, or whatever. Or I guess pass protectors too.
I mean, star power gets you to the playoffs, but depth gets you to the Super Bowl.
For sure. 100%.
It's funny because we were at the draft that Billy Price got picked.
Oh,
I don't remember that. I just remember laughing when the Cowboys fans freaked out at Leighton Vander Esch.
Turned out to be okay, but now he's like really injury prone.
No. We weren't at that draft. No.
You guys were at the John Ross draft.
No,
right?
We were at the Baker Mayfield
draft. The guy we picked is Bates. That's what we got in that draft. We got Bates. We went to a good draft.
It wasn't a first round pick.
No, I think we went to the 2018 draft.
No, we picked Bates. It was
Bates
Bates.
was a third rounder.
Stadium in Arlington,
Bates was a
Texas.
first round. Pretty sure Bates was a
Bates
first
was
round.
second round.
He was?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the first.
So we what?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's right. He was in the 2018 draft, number 54, Jesse Bates, safety.
Okay, well, I remember being there when he was drafted. I just assumed he was in the first round.
So
God damn, that was a really good pick.
That draft.
I was still thinking that was still in the first but damn, we got him in the second. We're so good at the second. That's why we should just trade out. Thinking about it.
It's all my fault because I was like the Cowboys picked Vander Esch, and then everybody was booing and I was laughing. I was like and then the Lions picked
Billy
the guy
Price.
we wanted. And I was like, oh crap. And then we got Billy Price, and I was like, Billy who? All right.
He's laughing now.
Well, there was still a
we went
bit
to
of
the
a
Super
shock
Bowl
when
last year. I guess it's
Baker
okay.
Mayfield was picked too. Like people were like, "What?"
I laughed hard when Baker Mayfield got picked.
Yeah, honestly,
remember that. because I was trying to get
the thing
floor
is,
seats.
it was the best. Like at the time, you have to like you can look back on it and be like, "Oh, people were so stupid to not pick Josh Allen first." At the time, he wasn't like that guy. He was a mid round.
I
He
agree.
was a mid first rounder.
I was like I watched his bowl game at Wyoming, like his senior year or whatever the last year he played was, and I was like the announcers were like washing him up hard. They were like just nonstop. Look at that throw. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look how big his arm is. And I'm just like, he didn't look like he could hit the broadside of a barn. And I bought into like the analytics on like accuracy is like the true thing that matters to make an NFL quarterback.
Lamar was the last pick.
Yeah, the last pick in that first round.
Wasn't
and then draft. But then it's not it's really easy to say that of Rosen, Darnold, and Mayfield, Mayfield's easily the best one.
But
no.
But speaking of Lamar Jackson, wasn't Hurst picked before Jackson too?
Well, I see what you're saying. No, I don't think so. Because Darnold has a job. Darnold's still a starter.
He's a bad starter, though. He's not good.
He's like a second chance starter. We don't know if he's bad yet.
Well, that's different scenarios, though, because Darnold's the starter on a desperate team.
Super big on Darnold. And the problem
I was big on Rosen, but...
that his
what is he doing, though?
Fumbles carried over from college. What's that?
Rosen? Is he even on a team right now?
No, he may be done.
Dang. Rosen, he's on some practice squad. I think he's on the Niners practice squad.
Let me see.
Was at some point.
Oh, he's on the Falcons.
Oh. He's been on like half the teams at this point.
He's been on the Cardinals, Dolphins, Buccaneers, 49ers, Falcons.
Ugh. Had a rough go of it. Honestly.
I mean, probably worth it. He's probably making a lot of money not to do too much.
I wouldn't say he had a rough go of it. I would say that he's just not very good.
I would say he got thrust into the role.
Let me put a caveat on that relative to the other NFL level quarterbacks. Yeah. Because three of us, he's awesome. But like compared to guys you need on an NFL team to beat other
is
NFL
that their draft
teams,
board in the background? Are you watching the... Are they showing the draft board?
Who?
The Ravens?
Oh, who they have on there?
I was about to pause it, but if you're watching NFL Network, they had like there's no way they're that dumb to put that in. Or maybe they just assume that
they've been doing this for years. That's not the type of thing.
Maybe it's their fake draft board.
Yeah, it's their psych out board.
Yeah. It's all like
reverse psychology.
Yeah.
I feel like it has to be a receiver, but they're so against. They're kind of like the Packers. They will not help out their quarterback.
Well, I don't know if they kind of. I wouldn't say it's far-fetched to say they kind of expect Lamar to kind of do anything that they need to win. And I feel like it's like they think they don't have to help him out. But that's not a functional office strategy. I don't know. There's just so many things that are like, I mean, this seems pretty obvious. Like, you got to draft a receiver to help out your quarterback after you trade away his like favorite receiver.
Maybe they're not gonna go wide receivers. I mean, they're gonna run like 6 down linemen and all tight ends.
They're gonna run the '60s offense. They're gonna.
I mean, Lamar Jackson. The Lamar Jackson connection with what's his last name? Andrew something.
Mark Andrews.
They're tight. Huh?
Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Andrews. There you go. I mean, I've always dreamed about the all tight end offense. Like just all tight. You put tight ends out wide, everything. And Lamar Jackson is the quarterback to make that happen. I'm gonna have to
crazy
do that
thing
in
is
Madden or
that would actually be kind of crazy because like if he breaks it out of like the pocket, they could just block downfield. They just swallow up corners and DBs.
Yeah, they just maul the corners and DBs. Like it would be like a slow burn, right?
Wow. Ravens.
The crazy thing is, you can legitimately build that offense in today's league.
Oh no!
They got Linderbaum.
Now I know.
No!
Now we know he's going to be awesome.
Yep.
See, that's the thing. If
He's
the
a bust
Ravens
now.
pick
He's a
him,
bust
I'm
now.
like, oh no, he's going to be awesome. If the Bengals pick him, I'm like, I'm not sure. Crap.
So that board behind them is not
What the
there.
Titans are going to do.
Des Ridder.
I'd bet you that anything they go with a receiver.
Anything? I don't know.
Oh, maybe not anything. But I would give it like a 90% chance to go with a receiver because...
Who's the receivers? Are there any good receivers on the board?
Sure, there's a few left.
NFL types who do these sorts of things?
Well, like still Pickens.
The NFL types are never right.
Yeah, Pickens would be a good guy to get.
I feel like Pickens, and then we're in Pierce.
Although they traded out.
Who did?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they traded to the Jets.
Titans
are out of the first round.
Wait, the Jets.
Interesting. They are just
have
kind of throwing it all away.
3. It's got to be defense. No.
Defense? Well, they picked a defensive end and they picked a corner and a tackle.
Yeah.
They picked
But that Jermaine Johnson is still on the board.
The receiver. They picked Garrett Wilson.
Oh, okay, corner and receiver. It was the Giants.
They're gonna go.
The Giants picked the tackle and defensive end.
Yeah. I think the Jets will go defense here probably.
Yeah. I'm gonna say offensive line because it just seems like if someone picks offensive line, then the team's like, no, there are not enough players left for this guy to fall for us. We're gonna go get the guy we want.
We're gonna go Jermaine.
Oh yeah, there's okay, never mind. I forgot. There's Christian Watson. That's pretty.
They're gonna go Jermaine Johnson. For State.
Oh, you're talking about the Jets, yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of receivers, there's still like 3 or 4 receivers that I guess technically have a first round grade. Yeah, I can see like a Christian Watson going to like the Chiefs or Green Bay. I mean, like they still have to, and there's Sky Moore too. I know people were talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
I really want Greg Dulcich. Not gonna lie.
Oh, really?
I feel like we can get him in the 3rd round though.
I'm a big fan of his uncle's work on Motor Trend.
Are they really related, or are they just?
Yeah, I don't get that joke.
It's not a joke. It's fact.
Really? Or they just have the same name?
Bang Shift Cougar. He's on Motor Trend, Hot Rod Garage, or no, Roadkill Garage. Hot Rod Garage is another group. It's good.
Wow, they traded back into the first.
Who?
Jets.
Oh, Jets.
That's 3 picks. They're going for it all.
Linderbaum.
God, that stings.
All I can think of is that Seinfeld.
Yeah, trade out. Trade out, honestly. There's no one left to take, really.
Well, I mean, yeah, might as well. I still like that. What about that David? Is it Ajabo?
Oh, the other defensive end from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some people think he was the better of the two. I'm not qualified to talk about such things, but I take any kind of edge rusher. I think is good. I mean, I'd be happy if the Bengals got a guy that could get after the quarterback. I like defensive linemen almost as much as I like offensive linemen.
Who's this guy? Jeremy Ruckert, maybe. I would like him too. I think we need to draft a tight end.
I could see a tight end.
I forget who they predicted us to pick that Trey McBride.
But I thought Dulcich was like a 2nd or a 3rd round guy.
Yeah, McBride could be a 1st round.
He would be a steal in the 3rd round. I think Dulcich, but at the end, I think he'll probably go before that, but
yeah. I think any of McBride, Dulcich, or Rucker, I would be very happy with.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys haven't been fact checking me on Steve Dulcich and the.
I already took that as a joke. And even if it wasn't a joke, I'd be like,
it's
okay.
not a joke. I'm serious. 100% fact.
Okay, well, that's cool then.
Yeah. Oh, see, I got Drew working. Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
His name is Steve Dulcich?
Yeah.
He shouldn't have fell that far, I feel like. But it happens.
All you have to do is type in Dulcich and bang shift Cougar. I miss the days when Jets fans hated their picks.
They've made good picks thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
would say it's been pretty solid.
They used to boo good picks, though. They would make like good picks and they get booed. Those were the days, man. Jaguars.
So they've had like what 5 first-round picks in the last 2 years?
Who?
The Jets? Did they have 2 last year, or was it just 1?
I think they had multiple.
That's what I thought. So this would have been 5 in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Ooh, another trade, I think. Jaguars.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, so the Jets picked last year. They picked Zach Wilson, number 2, and they picked Elijah Vera Tucker, guard out USC, number 14 last year. Yeah, so 2 first-round picks last year, 3 this year, and they picked they had the second pick in the second round, which makes sense. So they should be really good.
Yeah.
Don't laugh. They beat us.
That's true. Not only did they beat us, they beat us with their like third string quarterback
from South Florida, and he managed to like just strafe the Bengals. I remember how confident I was going in. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to win by like 50. They got this guy off like the waiver wire, and then he throw like 4 interceptions and like 50 touchdowns in that game?
Okay. It's not. We're not related. We're not related.
They are related.
Steve Dulcich and Greg Dulcich.
Yeah, they are. Steve said so.
I just looked it up.
He said they were related.
I mean, it said his son's name is James Dulcich.
It's not his son. It's like his nephew.
Oh, wow. Okay, I thought it was his son.
I didn't say it was his son. I said he was related.
Oh, that would make a little more sense.
Yeah. It's like his...
I was looking on both everywhere, and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I feel like we're going to trade out. It's kind of a bummer.
That'd be good. I was hoping we would trade out.
I don't know. People, like I said, people are still pretty high on that.
Oh, they picked Jermaine Johnson. I was right.
Yeah.
Sorry, we sent you down the Steve Dulcich rabbit hole. It was like 20 minutes ago.
People like that Carl Aftis. Or there could be, there's still Andrew Booth Jr. That makes sense too.
Maybe, I don't know.
Andrew Booth Jr.
The corner.
Oh yeah, that guy was mocked to us in the 1 or 2 mock drafts I read. I'm like, this is the least prepared or the least interested I've been specifically in players leading up to a draft, because it's just like,
if we don't trade out, I'm gonna go with Kyler Gordon.
I would go with Lewis Sign. Georgia.
All
I would like that.
I don't know who any of the players
usually
are.
pretty
Find
good
me a
with
tight
Georgia
end.
picks.
Who are the tight ends?
Tight
McBride, Dulcich,
That's
Ruckert.
Okay, so it's too soon for a tight end, is what you're saying.
I would take a tight end or a safety.
Safety. Yeah, who are the safeties?
Axton Hill, Lewis Sign, Jalen Petra. I remember, I don't know how to say his name, but Pitre. Mock draft and
from
grabbed him.
Was he from Baylor?
Baylor, yeah. I think Lewis Sign's probably safer though.
Where's he from?
Georgia.
Yeah.
He's also way bigger. So we can
will take.
My
Safety from an SEC school that feels very Bengali. I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, but the thing is that I feel like Kyler Gordon is very similar to our other cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
The thing though is Bates doesn't want to be under the tag, and Bates and Bell's contract is up.
Yeah, but
so it might make sense to take a safety.
Yeah, but I think it's better value to get it because I mean, there's no guarantee that we can't bring those players back, right? So I mean, it's not saying that we can't bring those players back. It's just saying there's a possibility that they both may be gone.
The problem is that,
but I don't think it's that high of a need.
Round, you gotta pick somebody that can start, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
also you're sending a message to the player at that position already is that your job is in danger. So, I don't know.
So if you're saying if you can get another corner like Awuzie, you wouldn't take him? Because that's basically Kyler Gordon.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but I would take another safety like Bates. Like,
well, but the problem is that it's going to be hard to draft a safety that's going to start.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't like. I like the idea of a safety because of like you're picking at the end of the first round, so it's like a good positional value thing. But
I think if you take
first round
like a
picks
Booth or
have to be starters.
Yeah.
Well, so you got to look at the team and what position could you get a starter in the first round?
That would be Booth, Ajabo, Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or possibly a defensive tackle that Travis Jones. I know people were kind of high on him.
Yeah, maybe a defensive tackle would make sense. Not necessarily a starter, but definitely someone that could be in the rotation, get a lot of snaps because you don't necessarily need to be a starter at like defensive tackle to get like, a lot of snaps because you just need to rotate guys in.
So who's the Jaguars going to take?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. The thing with the Jaguars is I think they have what I like to call organizational rot, where there's just something fundamentally wrong with their team that can't be fixed with like a draft or a free agency class. But there's a few teams in the NFL that I would say that have that. But I don't know.
Strafing the Jaguars, man.
I think
you got two victims so far.
Yeah. I think that they're putting on a Band-Aid. Really, their bones are broken.
Devin Lloyd, linebacker.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
I guess that's decent. I don't know. My philosophy is always that if you don't have someone on offense that you really want, pick defense because it's always safer.
All right, my guess for the next pick is going to be Christian Watson.
Christian Watson?
Yep.
What is a Christian Watson?
He's a receiver out of North Dakota State.
Oh, yeah. He's supposed to be like super fast.
Yeah. That or Sky Moore. But I think Christian Watson makes a lot of sense for the Packers.
Okay.
You need a receiver. Unless they are trading for Deebo Samuel.
I kind of want to see that. That'd be kind of cool.
I think instantly if they trade for Deebo Samuel, they're looking a lot better in my eyes.
I'm going to go the Packers are going to get a corner.
Which one?
What's so funny about that? A good one.
Nothing's funny.
I don't know anything about these guys. Nothing. Like all the football games I watched for college were either Cincinnati Bearcats games or games of teams that I was hoping would lose so that Cincinnati can make the playoff. So, and, we didn't do our normal mock draft regimen, so I didn't learn all the, top 45 players' names and stats. So really, it's kind of on both of us that I don't know this. It's really on you, Josh, is what I'm trying to say.
But I'm keeping you up to date now, though.
What?
So I'm keeping you up to date now, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are gonna have to carry the load here.
Crash course.
I'm just gonna kind of make sounds and I was okay with the Linderbaum if he slipped to the Bengals taking him because it sort of makes sense. Although I'm still jaded from all the failed lineman first round draft picks in the past decade. But now I'm like, okay, the Bengals are picking 31. There's got to be a team that likes one of these other quarterbacks that's like, okay, if you're going to pick a guy who's graded as a second-round quarterback, you're better off getting him at the end of the first round than the second round because you get the fifth-year option. And if you're a second-round quarterback, that means that the team sees you as like a bit of a project. So that's what I'm hoping for right now, is that there's some quarterback-needy team that wants to jump back into the first round and pick him.
I'll say Ritter is a project. I'll say it. But I don't think he's NFL ready. I think, no, let me clarify. I think he could play in the NFL right now and be somewhat successful. But I think if they want him to be a really good quarterback, then he will take a couple years to develop.
Yeah, I don't know how it all works because, I mean, if you ask me, I would take Ritter over Zach Wilson, and he was like the second pick last year. So,
yeah, but it was the Jets.
Well, the Jets had lots of picks this year.
I feel like Ritter would be best on the Seahawks, though.
Yeah, I can see Ritter on the Seahawks.
Player. I think he's like what they like, because he's got that athleticism. He's got a big arm.
Yeah, I could see the Seahawks definitely, I think, could take Malik Willis, though.
Yeah, I mean, they both are the type of guys that they like. They like athletic dudes, and they like guys that they can get for positional value. I think it just seems like their front office really likes to pick guys that are undervalued, that fit into what they do, that turn into really good NFL players. I mean, they had a ton of success with it, right? I mean, it's just player after player.
Russell Wilson was
the second to fourth round that are like really good NFL players. They won Super Bowls doing that, so you can't knock it.
I think too, part of the benefit of being drafted later, it's not as much pressure, because especially if you're a high pick, and especially as a quarterback, it's like you're expected to have immediate results.
Mm-hmm.
If not, you'll be traded to 2 or 3 other teams.
Well, yeah, I don't know. People have super high expectations for that kind of thing because of guys like, can't even say Peyton Manning because he was awful in his rookie year.
Yeah, but he figured it out by year 3, though. You knew.
Well, yeah, but then you can say that about a lot of first round quarterbacks.
Well, I think with first round quarterbacks, it's just high risk, high reward type deal, right? It's like,
yeah, that's true.
But later in the rounds, it's always like low risk, high reward type deal. But
yeah,
But I don't know. Nowadays, I feel like quarterbacks, do they ever like? Because like I feel like even the bad high first round picks always end up just being like long term backups. So like, is that really a bad gig? I don't know.
I mean, it's like Chase Daniels makes like $5 million a year sitting on the bench for the Lions. Like,
I mean, you do that for 10 years, it seems pretty nice.
Until the starter gets hurt, and then you get out there.
A third string's where it's at.
That's the thing. You only have to do really well in one game, and then if you get hurt, no, I'm just kidding.
Just be Nick Foles, honestly.
Well, that's the thing, though. The quarterbacks that do
the
get
$81 million
really well as
third string
backups
quarterback.
They do play
Nick Foles
well when they do come in, but they're never quarterbacks that are going to get you over the hump. You know, like they're not like. That's why we got lucky when we got like Burrow. Like once you figure out the quarterback, it's like everything else is like kind of.
Yeah, that's literally all that matters is the quarterback. Or let me rephrase that. It's the most important position. It's the quickest way to turn your franchise around. Is if you have an excellent quarterback, you're going to be a good team, right? And then the Bengals. I mean, how many years have we gone without having an excellent quarterback?
Oh, actually,
the difference is stark.
Since 2005, not very many. It's just the other stuff around the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Carson Palmer and Andy Dalton were both like really good.
Well, Carson Palmer was great until he got hurt.
Well, and then he also hates Cincinnati for some reason.
Then he turned into
just salty for some reason.
I think it's something to do with someone throwing trash in his front yard.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen anybody actively hate on the Bengals more than Carson Palmer.
Because he's
will not give them any credit. He's got that
pretty girl complex. Like he's got to be told he's awesome and he's much well. Devontae, oh wow, they didn't go receiver.
They want to lose. I like.
Maybe they trade back in. No, I'm just kidding.
They're tanking.
They're tanking with Aaron Rodgers?
I swear they're tanking. I don't know what they're doing.
For why? They can't tank with Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know.
I mean, they will never.
I'm so
be bad
confused.
With Aaron Rodgers.
Our offense right now is Aaron Rodgers and
Sammy
Aaron
Watkins.
Jones.
Aaron Jones, right? Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones.
You can't win with that, so
no. They can.
Because I don't know any team that has just
who's in their division? Who's in their division?
Oh, okay. Relatively, you can't win with that.
Are they better than the Bears?
Yes.
Yes. Are they better than the Lions?
Yes.
All right. Who else is in their division? NFC
Vikings.
Vikings. Are they better than the Vikings? Yes.
Probably.
Okay, so they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, you can't win in the playoffs with that. Let me rephrase that.
You can't win in the play. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
You like that? You like that?
That Georgia defense looked crazy good.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Insane how good they were.
Patriots. Alec Pierce right here.
Alec Pierce.
That's going to be the 30th pick.
Well, early for the Patriots. They might.
No, here's the thing. It's actually really genius. They did all their free agency last year when the market was down.
Could the Chiefs be an Alec Pierce taker?
Oh, dude, I would hate that so much.
Why? Patrick Mahomes throwing moon balls from the 1 yard line.
I think
to
if Green Bay can get
theoretically it's good.
Alex Pierce in the second round, then this pick is genius. But I don't know if he's going to last that long in the second, though.
Yeah,
maybe. I just would hate it conceptually. Like, I didn't want Ritter to go to the Steelers, like in that same way.
Yeah, but I really want to see how deep of a pass he can catch from Patrick Mahomes. Like, because like his touchdown passes are usually all air yards. It's not like a Tyreek Hill where he's like running around and juking people and gets in.
Oh,
It's sort of like you just throw it high in the end zone and he jumps up and gets it. Like, could they run that play from like their own 10-yard line?
There's got to be a stat about this somewhere.
What?
But you just said like the air yards thing, right?
Oh yeah.
And
dial that up on the Google machine.
I don't think that's actually true. I mean, the ones you see are air yards because you see the big 60-yard bombs.
What are we talking about?
How many of his passing yards are yards after catch?
Oh, okay. No, I was just talking about Alec Pierce. Like he's
yeah.
a lot of just jump balls.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mahomes.
No. I was saying I would like to see Mahomes throw him like a super deep jump ball.
Yeah, just see how far he can catch it.
What I'm saying is it's worth to me, it's worth the Chiefs expending their draft capital to entertain this football idea that I want to see for my entertainment. So I'm 100% fine with the Chiefs picking Alec Pierce because I would like to see how deep of a pass Patrick Mahomes can throw to him that turns into a jump ball in the end zone. I think what I'm saying is I'm giving permission to the Chiefs organization to pick Alec Pierce. They have
sure
my
they're
blessing.
watching.
Did they call you first?
I will allow it. I'm good with this.
So if they call you in the next 5 minutes, then we know.
If they call, I wish I knew the area code. Yeah, Lamar Jackson tweeted WTF when they picked Linderbaum.
I saw that.
Oh man, this is why I see him in the Falcons jersey in 2 years, like 100%. He's going to the Falcons.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, because before the pick, I saw he had the prayers because they traded. I think did they trade back into the first?
That was so long ago.
I think they had to trade back into the first.
Linderbaum. Yeah, they traded with Buffalo.
Yeah, so they traded back into the first to pick Linderbaum. So yeah, he'll delete that tweet.
He should.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, because that's a guy that's protecting him, you dumbass. Like you can't.
Yeah, it's like how can you can't do your center like that?
Yeah,
that's not cool.
Oh, that's stupid.
But I get it from his perspective is because like, what have they done to give him a playmaker? They haven't done absolutely.
They literally traded away his.
I know the one that he liked.
Cole Strange from Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Oh. Okay. Wait a minute. Got to do a little bit of math here.
That's interesting. So the 29th best player in college football is Cole Strange from Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Isn't that strange?
Okay.
How many offensive line is that though? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh shit! I already lost count.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So, wait, I'm gonna do a little bit more real quick.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's so far. That's 9 offensive linemen drafted.
Huh. Nine offensive linemen.
It's either 9 or 8. Maybe I miscounted. I don't know. But someone did say that they're going to draft 10 offensive linemen.
I'll double check here. Let's see. 1, 2.
There he is.
8. George Karloftis.
That's the guy I thought potentially the Bengals could have drafted, but
well, he looked good in that game I watched Linderbaum play, and Karloftis was pretty legit. But the Iowa Hawkeyes run like a 1945 high school offense, so it's hard to really project that. It's like they run the plays that we ran in middle school. All right, who the Bengals gonna pick? What are they gonna do?
I'm telling you, Kyler Gordon.
Kyler Gordon?
Yeah, cornerback.
Wait, is Daxton Hill off the board?
No, that would make sense.
I want him.
Why don't they get that other edge from Michigan? That'd be a good pick.
Jabo?
Yeah,
I would do it if he could potentially play this year, but is he going to be gone the whole year?
Why would Ojabo be gone this year?
Because then he tore his Achilles.
Oh, he tore his Achilles?
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, he did that when he had his pro day and he hurt his. That's why he fell so far.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes
right.
That makes a lot of sense.
But he may be worth a late round pick though, because like if he's healthy, he's what, a top 10, a potential top 10 or 15 pick.
Yeah. No, this all makes sense. Now I feel like a moron.
Okay.
Which is deserved.
I'm going to throw it back a bit here to stuff we were talking about, yards after catch. And Mahomes, 56% of Mahomes' passing yards last year were yards after catch.
Okay.
His receivers. And for reference, for Joe Burrow, it was only 46%.
Okay. What is Alec Pierce's yards after catch?
I don't think it's
do
that
a little
good.
bit more research here.
I feel like it's like 5.
Probably.
He always catches it and either is diving or in the end zone.
Is there like a college football reference page?
Of course.
Oh, this is amazing. Oh, no. They don't have the advanced stats.
What?
College. It's kind of weird.
Yak.
They're saying the best fit for us right now would be the inside linebacker, Nakobe Dean from Georgia.
Bryant?
Best available is Daxton Hill. But I feel like we're going to go for like a true corner, though. Like that would be my guess, either Booth or Gordon. But I feel like Gordon... Because I wonder if we could draft Gordon, and then I wonder if there's still potential for us to still like re-sign Spain.
Alec Pierce averaged 3.7 yards after catch per reception last year.
Okay, and then he had last year 52 receptions.
Picks in. We didn't trade, so that's good. And they're on commercial break.
Yes. I think that the Bengals are like 100% with commercial breaks being timed with their picks.
Except when they're in the top 5 picks.
Okay, only 21% of Alec Pierce's yards were yak.
Okay.
Oh.
So, I'm not making it up.
It was really late, but I had to find how to get those stats.
That's all right. I just want to. I mean, it's too late. Well, it's not too late. Maybe the Chiefs can still get him, but it's probably too late for tonight.
Yeah.
But
It's only the first round tonight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 more picks, and then we are done.
I want to see what they do here.
I think corner
That's why
makes a
we're-
distance.
We got to see what the Bengals are going to do.
Because, like, if you look at our corners right now, we don't have any long-term corners on both sides. So, like, it would make sense to solidify something. And I feel like one of these two cornerbacks...
Man, I want to win now.
Well, I think one of these two cornerbacks could eventually be the starter before the end of the year, too. Like, they have that potential.
That's true.
And that would be ideal.
Yeah, everybody rips on the corners, and I feel like the
But-
Bengals defense played
But also,
really good.
the Bengals
They
play...
did.
Like,
It's the Mandela effect.
The
well-
what?
Mandela effect.
Nelson?
Yeah. So on the internet, it's called the Mandela. It's a phenomenon where if enough people eventually say something, and then people start remembering it differently. So people don't remember that Eli Apple was playing a very good game up until he got beat by Cooper Kupp in the end zone.
right.
Yeah, but I
Now-
mean, like the refs
now, if
gave
you-
them like 8 fourth downs in a row. I
But
mean,
if you ask anybody
that's
out on
like-
the
that's
streets
like
that
crap
watches
they
the
do in
NFL,
practice, like,
they watch you
wait,
in
they
the
didn't
NFL.
get it. Let's try it
Yeah.
again.
But also, it's a big Bengals play to like let Eli Apple start the whole year and the majority of the year and perform well. That way, he can sign a bigger contract somewhere else, and we could potentially get something out of it. And then we could put in the cornerback that we draft this year for the long term. But we still want that person to beat him out before the end of the year, anyways, because like we don't want Eli Apple to be our second best cornerback on the roster. Like that's something clearly we could upgrade.
I mean,
No, I think we're severely underrating Eli Apple here. He's a really good corner.
good last year. I don't see what the problem is.
I don't either.
There isn't a problem. The thing I'm trying to address is that he's upgradable. Like you're making him seem like he's a B plus player when he's just like at best C minus.
Every single player on our defense is upgradable.
Not every player, no.
I don't think we have a
Reader's
single
pretty
player on our
nice.
defense that's
Bates is
the
pretty
best at
nice.
their position.
Wilson could be that guy. I mean, I think we have
Logan Wilson?
Huh?
Logan Wilson?
Yeah.
I'd say he's top 10.
That's pretty damn good for a linebacker. Those are hard to find.
That's true.
Especially for the Bengals.
Well,
Yeah.
it's really hard.
wish we
a
would have signed
linebacker-
Bobby
no,
Wagner,
It's just
but
hard to
that was
find a
never gonna happen.
linebacker in general that can cover and stop the run at the same time. Like it's really kind of unique.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here it is.
All right.
Oh, there it is. Your
Daxton
guy.
Hill.
Yep, Daxton Hill.
Yes!
Hey, I said safety too. Let's
go.
Smart.
That's what we like to see.
All right. Well, let's learn a little bit more about.
He's a
Mr.
playmaker.
Daxton Hill.
I know that. Well, he's kind of versatile too.
Definitely could slide him in.
Well, it makes sense too because like we could play 3 safety sets. Like I think that's kind of like. But yeah, and to what you were saying before is that it seems like we are preparing to at least lose one of our safeties by doing this, by drafting a safety this high.
4.38 40.
Now he's a playmaker, 100% a playmaker. I was watching his highlights.
Yeah.
Love it. Love
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a good pick.
I'm good. Yeah. I like it.
But I feel like
Ooh, that's a hot take. I just saw this on Twitter. X Hill is Jesse Bates' replacement, whether we like it or not.
not necessarily, but I mean,
Yeah.
It's looking like it.
It's a very pessimistic view on things.
but that is again kind of like what I was saying. That is the Bengals play though, because like
Yeah. Well, I don't know what I mean. Both safeties are not locked up for next year, right?
Right.
So
For the upcoming season, we have both, but then after
That's
they're
the-
both free.
that's the part I'm unclear on. Which position does he play? Is
Safety.
he which safety position?
Yep.
Free
Well-
safety's more important, I think.
Well, I think in our system though they're kind of interchangeable, so like that's why it kind of makes sense for him. Like they kind of
Yeah.
flip flop. But I mean, obviously, like you can put him in positions to where they play their strengths. That's why, like, if Bell's playing, he's more like towards the line. You know, like he's not really playing it coverage as much as like Bates.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still potential where we can keep Bates long term, but not like resign Bell. But I don't know. It makes sense to take Hill, but normally I'm just because like it's just weird because they value corners a lot more. But I guess if they feel like his talent is just so much more superior than the corners that were available, it makes sense.
Apparently, he can blitz too.
Like
Well, I think but like the way I kind of looked at Daxton Hill though is like kind of like Mike Hilton. Like that was like he would be kind of like in most situations like a third corner or maybe like a third safety, or I guess or you just play him as a safety. The only problem about safeties though is like you can only get so much value out of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why they're almost like okay to let Bates go, even though like he's clearly like top 5 in his position. It's just like they just don't see value in safeties.
Yeah, I mean, also the safeties recently, you get 2 or 3 good years, and then you pay them a lot of money, and they start to fall off. And there's like Lee Jackson, Jamal Adams, Kevin Byard, guys like that were all pros 2 years ago, and now they're. Eddie Jackson got cut, I think. Jamal Adams is on a huge deal that he's not worth. Byard is just a rotation guy. So it's like it's a risky thing. It's like a running back. So I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, what's your grade?
Well, if they got Linderbaum, it'd be an A+, but they didn't pass on Linderbaum. He got sniped, so
yeah, no, grade this.
It's not their fault.
You can only grade with what was available versus what they took, right? So
yeah.
Honestly, that's an A-.
Okay.
I don't know. In the moment, in the moment, it's an A+.
I like it. I give it a B. From someone who doesn't know who any of the players are, could be. I would pick the guy who blew his Achilles, and then somebody would be like, do you know he's hurt? I'd be like, yeah. Our doctors gave a good medical report on him though, so I feel confident he'll be ready.
He said his wrist was fine.
Yeah, his wrist will heal up. Is his Achilles? What did I say? No, I didn't say wrist. I said risk is fine. Risk.
Did they say he could play special teams as well? Hill?
Well, yeah.
Osai coming back.
Any safety could play.
Any safety can play special teams.
Right?
It's basically what they do anyway.
Not necessarily. He might be too much of a high pick for them to want to do that. But we'll see. I think it's
depending on what happens.
I don't like the only problem I have with the like based off of like what was available, like yeah, I mean it makes sense for why we went with them. I mean, like I said, the only other ones I could see would be the corners.
Yeah,
Ajabo, that would make sense, but I don't know if we were.
Look at this final pick, another safety, Lewis Klein.
There you go.
Or Lewis Cine.
Sign. That's the other one I would have been okay with.
Other safety. Okay. Well, according to Next Gen Stats, he was ranked slightly below Daxton Hill. So I know he's taller and heavier.
Oh, that doesn't necessarily.
And he has bigger hands. Other than that, he ran a slightly faster 40.
Doesn't mean anything.
Seen. Oh,
it's seen.
Seen, as in the SEE.
It's embarrassing.
According to NFL.com.
Didn't we pick Daxton Hill for our first mock?
Maybe.
We picked somebody. We picked a safety.
Mock? Didn't we only do one mock?
I think we did 2 technically, but
we did 2 in one go.
But I'm pretty sure we picked Daxton Hill.
Man, we're freaking
amazing.
Yeah, we predict the future, I guess.
I'm trying to confirm that.
Yeah.
Like it. I'm happy that Desmond Ritter's not a Steeler.
You don't know that yet, right? Because this.
Oh,
right.
oh
Yeah,
my
you do.
gosh.
Yeah, the
You're right.
Steelers picked Kenny Pickett. That's a safe assumption.
Oh no, yeah, it is. It's a 99% assumption.
Yeah.
See people saying he'll be nickel safety this year.
Okay.
Jackson Hill.
I mean, that's good.
It.
That's good. So does that mean that Mike Hilton isn't going to play as much?
No. No, he will. I think what they'll do is they'll introduce like 3 safety sets, because I heard that was like the speculation too, because there wasn't there like speculation in the offseason that we were looking into Tyrann Mathieu, or like there were potential.
There was a little bit like around when Jesse Bates said he wanted a bigger contract.
Right. So like I think the thought is like or especially in this case is that you could implement him into the defense and get value out of him in like the 3 safety sets, and then that way like if something were to happen next year, if one of the safeties that we do have starting were to leave, we could just put him in and he would have some experience. So like there's ways we can get him on the field now, and he's pretty versatile, and like I feel like he's going to come up with a few big plays.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like the situation I like it when you have a guy that has the potential to be the starter, but he's not going to be given the job this year, right? He's going to have to earn playing time. So
he's got 2 established,
so he's
really good safeties ahead of him.
Yeah, so he's going to have to compete and win a job, as opposed to like you just draft a guy and there's nobody in front of him. So then the risk is like, well, what if he's not as
if he's
good
bad?
As he was going to be? Yeah, I mean we've had that. Like I mean on the offensive line multiple years.
Look at this. I don't know. Well, you can't really see it, but we did in our first official mock. We did select Daxton Hill on our. That's so funny.
Let's go.
All right.
I think because I kind of remembered it because I was like, I feel like the draft kind of worked out the way this draft went, and I kind of because like it was like we went with the Michigan guy because of what's his face Hall. So I was like,
Leon Hall. Okay.
Yeah, and then the second draft we did, we went with Drew's
really
guy.
funny.
Well, no, not Drew's guy. I guess technically this was Drew's guy, but and the second one we did, we drafted Sign as a safety in the first. So in both of our mocks, we actually picked safety in the first round.
Okay. Well, look at us. Look at us.
I feel like that's how
ESPN.
What's that?
ESPN. We're here.
No, we're better than ESPN. We just use ESPN's technologies to keep up with.
Oh, Kuiper.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that we're both simultaneously taking credit for it, and then also during our reaction to it, I did not know who he was at all. So somehow in the past, I was smart enough to help. I'll give you credit for picking him. Help Josh pick the guy. Like, oh yeah, that's our guy. And now, when we're at the actual draft and he gets picked, I'm like, never heard of him, but safety from Michigan. I like the sound of it.
Yeah, well, because there's definitely patterns of like the way like organizations pick and stuff. It's pretty like. Yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah, I mean the Bengals are pretty consistent where they like to get their talent from. Like they like Big Ten skill players, and they like SEC.
Well, I think
anything really.
But part of it too is that
everybody likes players from the SEC.
Anybody likes SEC anything. Like,
well, I noticed too, like especially starting with last year, is that normally like when you start out with this process, when you start doing your mocks, you're like when your initial guess is probably the most correct, and then as you do more of them, you get further away from your initial instinct, which is probably
overthink.
Yeah, like you talk your way out of it. So I always feel like your first couple of mocks are probably always going to be closer because it's like you're going with your like what is the most obvious, right? And honestly, like looking back, I think the reason why safety seemed the most obvious is because I think that was it Alan Ricard, or I forget his name. He was the safety who retired on the Bengals, and it left an open spot on the roster. So we didn't sign anyone off season as a safety. So we've always had like an open spot as a safety. So like that was like a real obvious need to fill, even as like just a backup. So
I think when you say really obvious need, I think you meant to say it's a really astute observation by Bengals insiders.
It's an obvious need to people who follow the Bengals,
right? I mean, if you are paying
know
attention,
what's going on, like the Breaker Bros plus Drew.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess. So I guess I had to revise my grade from a B to an A now that I know that they picked what we told them to pick.
I think we got a C on that mock draft, if I remember correctly.
Zach Taylor and Duke Tobin are tuning in to our mocks and tapping into the knowledge that they have, crowdsourcing their knowledge.
Well, if they pick that linebacker from Oklahoma in the second round, then you definitely know they're watching us.
Yeah, they're watching.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, Chiefs, I do give you permission to trade up to get Alec Pierce.
They may not have to.
Yeah, that's true. They've got like 500 picks left, so they may get them anyways.
Chiefs, if you're listening, Trent McDuffie's not going to stop Jamar Chase.
But they should definitely put him on him, though.
What's that?
They should definitely put Trent McDuffie on Chase, though.
Yeah. Try that. Man to man. No help over the top. I think he can handle it.
Matter of fact, every team should just play man up on Chase. That's fine, right?
Except the Browns. Except the Browns, because they actually have a guy who can cover him.
I don't think they do.
Greg Newsome. Held him like 10 yards.
Who was the quarterback in that game?
Bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was their first one that they got destroyed in.
Oh. Don't remember that one.
Hey, we made the playoffs and they didn't. That's all that matters.
We made the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a team get slandered more for making the Super Bowl than the Bengals.
Slandered by whom?
People whose teams didn't make the Super Bowl.
Oh, well. That's fine. They can say whatever they want.
I know.
Yeah, that Cole Strange had an overall grade of 77.
Mm-hmm.
And then
sometimes I feel like Bill Belichick's just trolling everybody. He's just like, whatever. Draft don't matter. I'll pick Cole Strange. We'll figure it out.
The kid from Chattanooga? Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, they did their thing last year with free agency. And the market was down. It was really great.
Yeah.
They got all these guys that this year would have gotten at deals for a low market price.
Man, it's looking like the Bengals got a steal based off these grades. Well, according to ESPN.
Oh, yeah? What's ESPN's grade?
For him, was 91.
91? Wow.
Yeah. Take it.
Number 2 overall in position. They said he was number 18 overall. Top 20 player, that's why.
Interesting.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what he does.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Well, I guess going to call it a night.
All right. We're going to sign out.